Record. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us on tonight's Take Healthy Back call. My name is Michala Petersen, and I'm a pharmacist from fiery Nebraska tonight. It's been quite a whirlwind of a day, and so we are really excited to be with you on this call. So we're going to talk just a little bit about what the norm is today in America. And we really are on this call to rage against the norm. We do not want these to be the statistic for our future. And so that's why we're here tonight, because 75% of disease is preventable. 75% of these diseases are preventable. So 750,000 people die every year of heart disease in America. 600,000 people die every year of cancer. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 2 men will have cancer in their lifetime. According to Dr. David Katz, head of preventative medicine at Yale, our children are the first that are expected to have a shorter life expectancy than their parents, which is incredibly daunting for me as a mom of 4 kids. And so 2.5 years ago, I was introduced to a whole food-based nutritional powerhouse, really, called Juice Plus. And several things appealed to me, one of them being that my kids could get free Juice Plus for 4 years. So that was really powerful to me. I also loved the research behind it, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. And so I thought we ate healthy. You guys may be like me. I fed my kids fruits and vegetables at every meal, but I fed them the same fruits and vegetables at every meal. And now knowing what I know, the power really is in the rainbow. And so I signed on with Juice Plus because it was a no-brainer to me. I have 4 kids, 8, 7, we just had birthdays, 8, 7, 5, and 3. And I thought we were healthy, but really what I know now, we were not healthy. And so I really didn't expect results, but within 4 weeks, my husband didn't have the inflammation that he previously had from a leg injury. I had energy that was through the roof. My 2-year-old that I didn't dream was asking for salads in seconds. And our 8-month-old needed tubes in her ears, and I canceled the tube consult. And as a family of 6, we have not had a single sick visit to the doctor in over 2.5 years. So that's pretty impressive in its own right. And so at that point, I knew that I needed to research what was in this. And I read The Birth of Juice Plus, where the creator's dad was given 3 weeks to live and ended up living for 15 years. And at that point, I knew I needed to message a mom of a kiddo with cancer. And her message back to me forever changed my life. She said, "How long have you known about this, and why didn't you tell me sooner?" And so that's really why I'm on this call tonight, because I feel like everyone deserves to at least hear this information. And what you choose to do with it is totally up to you. So these are just some of the systems that are impacted by Juice Plus, and we know this from the 36 published clinical studies. And I don't know if that really packs a punch for you or not. For me, it really did, because to get a pharmaceutical approved to the market, you only need 2 studies on the intended population, and they only have to be 65% effective. So the fact that 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries in a little capsule or soft chew had 36 published studies in Yale, Brigham Young. I mean, all these major institutions studied this, really spoke to me. So we know from the research that it improves cardiovascular wellness. We know from our family and also the immune study that it supports the immune system. We know that it improves gum tissue. It reduces oxidative stress. And inflammation is the root of all disease. No matter what you have, inflammation is the root of it. And we know that it protects DNA. That's what you pass down to your children. And we know that it promotes healthier skin. And not only the healthier skin part, but it increases microvascular circulation by 39%. We know that it decreases insulin resistance. It improves abdominal fat. It improves quality of life. And we've got a smoker study on lung health. So the Juice Plus really bridges the gap between how many servings of fruits and vegetables we get every day, which in America is only 2, and how many we should get, which is 7 to 13. And then we also have this awesome complete shake mix, and it is totally different than Juice Plus. This is like the gasoline that you put in the car versus Juice Plus is like the oil that you put in the engine. And I like to tease that I drove a 78 LTD for 6 years. And I'm a prime example that you can drive a car on little or no oil for a while, but eventually it breaks down. And that's the same way our bodies are. And so the complete bridges the gap between how many meals we should eat a day, which in America is 6, and how many we actually do, which is 2. So I'm sure you've already read all these buzzwords by now. It's absolutely great. And we also have a program for people who want a program. Some people just, really want to kick it into gear and they want to be told exactly what to do. And we've got an amazing community that you're going to hear about a little bit with regards to the shred. Last month, we shredded with 486 people. And basically the premise is for 10 days, it's a 10-day jumpstart to a 4-month program. And the premise is if it didn't live or roam on the earth for 10 days, you don't put it in your body. And it really gives your body a chance to kind of clear out all the gunk that's been, inside, I guess. And then the last thing we have is a tower garden. And this is what really got me interested in Juice Plus in the beginning. I sought this out and ended up finding out about Juice Plus later. But I love to garden, but I hate the 4.5-foot bull snakes that we have where we live. Maybe the fire tonight will take care of the bull snakes, you think? Anyway, this is just growing in the future of gardening. It grows 30% faster. No, I'm sorry, you can grow 30% more produce 3 times faster. You're literally eating lettuce within 3 weeks. It takes 90% less water and 90% less space. So now I am so excited to share with you some of my favorite people. We have 2 ladies that are going to share with us also tonight. You've already heard my story. And so the first is a nurse, huge heart, Miss Julia Hoskins. Will you please bless us with your story?
Well, bear with me, first of all, because I haven't had to be on a Zoom and share my story yet. So if I stutter and all that business, it's stage fright. Anyway, my story is kind of twofold, I guess. When I first got into Juice Plus, it was by happenstance. We had watched Michala's kids for a day, and Mark came to pick them up. And I can't even remember the whole conversation. He was asking me about this new hospital that I was working at. And I went on this spew about all the frustrations I had with this new hospital and how I thought I was ready to get out of nursing. And I needed to find something that had insurance because I had always carried the insurance in our family. So that was the first thing that got things started. And then, of course, Mark went into this thing about Juice Plus and how Michala had done this wonderful thing in 17 months?
Yeah.
Or something. That's NMD, something like that. I don't even remember. Anyway, and then it had all these benefits. So that was the first part of it. And then we got to talking about how, as a family and as a mom, you always think that, and especially as a nurse, I always thought that I knew so much about nutrition, and quickly found out that I knew very little once I got into Juice Plus. Always thought that I fed my family halfway healthy, but it seemed like whenever I wanted to lose a little weight, I did the up and down and up and down and up and down thing, and it just never went anywhere. So, I think it was the very next day after I had talked to Mark, or within 2 days, I was at Michala's house and she was telling me all about this Juice Plus and decided to become a rep. Like I said, with twofold, I thought, well, I could make money doing this. I could get out of my nursing. I was ready for that. I could retire from that. And this could be what would get us through to retirement with insurance. So started the journey with Michala. And I started last July, and within the first 2 to 3 weeks of being on Juice Plus, I seen amazing results in myself. I had more energy than I'd had in 15 years. I hadn't been sleeping well, and I was sleeping all night. And I was one of those, my husband always got so mad because by 9 o'clock, I'm yawning and falling asleep mid-sentence and ready to go to bed. And all of a sudden, I'd look at the clock and it was 11 o'clock at night and I was still on a roll and going. I'm like, wow, what happened here? Where'd the time go? And I need to get to bed. But So that's kind of the first things that I noticed. The Shred 10, the first time I did the Shred 10 that Michala talked about, I lost 9 pounds, and that was giving myself amazing grace because I happened to be on a trip with my mother and my sister to Colorado when I thought, oh yeah, I'll do this 10-day thing. I can do that. And so we're at all these fancy places to eat and traveling, and I still had my margaritas and did some things you don't do on a shred, and I still lost 9 pounds. So that first shred was kind of amazing, and I've done it several times since then, and I always feel so much better when I eat the right things and do the right things. And the other, I guess, backing up, the other thing I noticed within 4 weeks of starting Juice Plus was how I was always, and still am, I like to bake and cook and eat all those fun sugary things, but after being on it for a while, it just truly changes your taste buds. And I would go to the fridge. I'd find myself going to the fridge for a snack where I used to grab, something sugary and sweet, and now I'm looking for an apple or some grapes or something else that's healthy. And it wasn't even that I was trying. It was just crazy how it tastes, makes your taste different. So I guess, what else can I say about my story? I ended up, just by happenstance, taking a different position at my job in nursing as a manager now, which has kind of changed things, and it's kind of slowed me down on the whole Juice Plus thing, but still very much wanting to move forward and get more active and be a huge part of it. Conference was amazing for anybody that wants to know about that, but that definitely gets you on a huge high.
That's awesome. And that's the beauty of this business.
Bottom line, sorry?
No, I was just saying that's the beauty of this business is you can pick it up and set it down whenever you need to. It's there when you need it, and you're helping people along the way regardless, because you still haven't stopped helping people with it. You're just doing it as you live life.
And I guess that's the other thing is just, it's easy to share because you're not trying to share a gimmick like so many things are. It's real and it's true, and it does what it says it does.
Yep, that's right. Well, I never share your story.
My family.
What?
My family too. I said that with my family. My youngest had horrible acne, and now it's gone. As long as she takes it, it's gone. It's crazy.
Isn't that awesome? That's inflammation right there for you, huh? Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
You're welcome.
Here is Miss Janet Bailey. And Janet and I, ironically enough, are from the same hometown, but I had never met Janet until an awesome salad in a jar that we put on that she was a part of. So Janet, will you share your amazing story with us, please?
Sure, I'd love to. Well, let's see, last spring was the first time I had heard about Juice Plus, but my mission to take control of our health began actually a little more than a year before that, when my daughter was suffering some terrible stomach pains. I just knew it was her appendix, and the doctors did CT scans and said, no, it's not. And she saw specialists. She had to have a colonoscopy and an endoscopy, and she was just 17 at the time. And nobody could figure out what was wrong. So I decided I was going to take control and try to figure it out on my own. I thought maybe she had a gluten sensitivity, but the gluten test came back normal. And so in my quest, I just did a lot of research on my own and found out how important it is to eat whole foods. And so I started eliminating processed foods and gluten, and we just really started watching our food and trying to eat as clean as possible. And that made a big difference for my daughter. So then last April, I attended a salad in a jar party at my neighbor's house, and that was the first time I had heard about Juice Plus. And everything that you shared with me, Michala, was totally in line with what I had already learned and the research that I had done on the importance of eating clean and eating good whole foods, and whole food nutrition was just so important. So when I learned from you everything that you were saying about Juice Plus, I just decided, I have absolutely nothing to lose, but everything to gain in taking it. And then I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis when I was 23. So that was about 27 years ago, I guess. And so when you shared about Juice Plus and the benefits, I knew that I had this health condition of my own going on. And I just always dealt with flare-ups. Every year, a few times a year, there would be something that would trigger a flare-up. And the flare-ups would just knock me down. I would have to increase my medicine. I'd have to lay low. I just couldn't do very much. And this was just kind of ongoing for me, and I just tried to manage my way through it. So when I learned about Juice Plus, I had already begun eating healthier, but I thought that might be the key, the missing component. And so I just jumped all in and decided our family was going to jump on board and give this a good try. And within 2 weeks of starting Juice Plus, my arthritis felt so much better. I had a lot more energy than I had had in a really long time. And that was important to me because I had a lot of big events that were going to come up last summer. And it was a graduation and a wedding and my parents' 50th anniversary and a lot of other things going on too. And because I had been flooding my body with this good whole food nutrition through Juice Plus, I didn't have any flare-ups at all last summer. I had energy, and that to me was a huge success. So I was definitely sold when that happened. I felt better, and I thought, even if it's the placebo effect, I don't care because I felt so much better. But I knew I had a doctor's appointment coming up, and I see my rheumatologist every 6 months. And one of the things he always checks is my inflammation markers through my lab work. And I thought, well, the real test is going to come when I do my lab work, and we're going to see if this Juice Plus has really made an impact on the inflammation within my body. And so I was so excited when those results came back, and my inflammation markers are the lowest they have been in a really, really long time. And not only were they low then, but they have stayed low. I just was at the doctor a week ago, and my arthritis has gone from regular flare-ups to I am now in remission. So I am so excited. Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
Very excited about that. A little side note, another extra bonus that I have experienced is I just started having allergies when I was a kid. I grew up on a farm, and I was walking through the cornfields with pollen in my face all the time. And so every fall I was dealing with terrible allergies. And last fall, I happened to realize my allergies just weren't bothering me that much. Every year in the past, I've had to get a steroid shot during ragweed season in the fall because my allergies were so bad. But last year was the first year I didn't need an allergy shot. And I've actually been able to eliminate my allergy meds. So that's pretty exciting too.
That's amazing. I am still blown away by the power of whole food nutrition and how simple the concept it is, but how impactful it is. So thank you, girl, so much for sharing your story. We've heard 3 amazing stories, and a lot of people are kind of curious about the company behind Juice Plus. And so we're just going to go into a little bit of that. But if all you wanted to hear was the stories, go ahead and jump off. That's fine. I'm going to share the screen one more time, and we're going to go over a little of this real fast. So a lot of people wonder, like myself, I didn't necessarily want a business. I made good money as a pharmacist. I wasn't looking for anything but to get the best price on my product. But everyone pays $50 to be a rep, and there's no minimums, no quotas, and no inventories. But if you're like me, you also don't really want to leave money on the table. And so this was me. So this is how our whole business model works. And basically, you do this and repeat it enough times and teach others to do it, then you're a national marketing director like myself. So this is you come in and pay $50, And most everyone has two people that they want to get healthier or that they think would love to do a shred with them or whatever. And so maybe your mom and your sister also come in and want to do that. Thank you, Christina Rios, for these awesome houses, by the way. You earn over $200, and that includes a $100 bonus in your first 30 days. And then everything is more fun with a buddy. If you have a buddy like I did, my best friend from since first grade, I called her and said, oh my gosh, your kids are sick all the time. You've got to get on this. We're doing this together. You're going to become a rep and we aren't going to look back. And she is so close to qualifying national marketing director right now. It's not even funny. And so she did the same thing. She shared with her mom and her brother. She earned $200. And then between she and I, we fill up the rest of these 12 houses. And then I got a $250 bonus. I was then at the 14% commission level, which is awesome because then rather than making $39 a box of Juice Plus, you're actually making $45. And you get a free conference ticket, which is awesome. So this is how that works. So I just took you through step 2 right here. And then step 3 is to become a sales coordinator. And even though I didn't ever intend on going past sales coordinator, I thought, well, I'm going to make the top commission level if I can. So to do that, you help 2 people fill up their 12 houses, and you have one person that just comes in and wants their order plus a couple other orders. And then you get a $500 bonus. But the cool thing is you also get a $250 bonus for helping your friends achieve their goals, which is awesome. So within 6 months, you can earn just in bonuses $1,800. And that's not including retail sales, profit, or commissions. And so I had mentioned that I didn't want to share it with a soul, but about 4 months in to Juice Plus, our circumstances changed. We had a daycare issue that really tugged at my heart and made me want to stay home with my kids. And so that propelled things forward a little faster. But I had already realized that within 4 months, I was helping more people with Juice Plus than I had in 10 years as a community pharmacist. And so it was fun to me. Plus, I have only been to a handful of salad in a jars. Most of them have been lunch and learns at hospitals that I have not taken my kids with. So the fact that they get to be healthy and learn how to teach healthy from such a young age is so awesome. But this is an amazing benefits package, $70,000 benefits plan. It has comprehensive medical, life insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance, disability, long-term care, prescription drug coverage, which we have not needed. And probably the neatest thing and what I've never seen in any other benefits package is family tuition. So if your kids are in college, no matter if you have 1 kid or 18 kids, you still get reimbursement for your kids being in college for tuition, which is awesome. A $1,000 holiday bonus and an expense allowance. And so there are some other things that really made Juice Plus stand out. We already talked about the amazing body of research. The longevity is another one. It's been around for 23 years. And if you're like me, you were a little irritated that you had never heard of it until now. It's quality tested 6 times from field to capsule. So in 23 years, there's never been a single recall. There's never been a single lawsuit. And part of that reason is because we have NSF certification. And that's basically fancy for saying that Olympic athletes, collegiate athletes, anyone can take it because we have the certification that proves that there's nothing in the capsule that's not on the label. There's nothing on the label that's not in the capsule. And third and foremost, it does no harm. So that's great. We only have 4 products. We highlighted those tonight. We have the Juice Plus. We have the Complete. We also have a Complete Bar. And then we have the Tower Garden. Most importantly, it carries a nutrition label, not a supplement label, because it's just food. So anyone that can eat fruits and vegetables is safe to take Juice Plus, and it's literally safe from womb to tomb, which is awesome. The authenticity, I think you have heard our authentic hearts tonight. And then just at almost the top of my list compared to everything else that we've just listed is the community. And I know several of you are like me and kind of get lost in motherhood, and you work and you're a wife and you're a mom, and all of a sudden it's like, who am I? I don't know who I am. And so this community has just meant so much to me. And one of the neatest things is being able to help the team see the vision, and the bonding that happens at conference is just amazing. Julia, you kind of touched on that a little bit, but will you elaborate a little bit more on what the community has meant to you and your experience with conference?
Well, with conference, being the first time, I really had no idea what to expect. My daughter, Brittany, signed up under me, and so she was able to go with me, which made it extra special for us both to go. But it was just amazing to me. People came from everywhere around the world, and everybody was like your best friend. It's like everybody was there for the same reason and had the same vision and wanted the best for the next person. It wasn't all about me. It wasn't all about that person. It was about people helping each other get this wonderful package that there is out there. And the learning that happened in those short days was incredible. So yeah, I would recommend conference to anyone, even if you're not even signed up. Go and see what it's about,
That's awesome. I know we went to Sacramento to our first conference, and it was the first time that we had ever left the kids, other than to have another baby in the hospital. And mainly I kind of my barrier to share in the beginning was, I thought it was one of those things, I thought it was one of those things in the shape of a pyramid. And really what I've learned is that it's actually the opposite of that. There's really no competition. There's no, trying to get up the political ladder or anything like that. And really traditional business, there's usually one person on top, and the chance that a janitor can get to the CEO of a hospital is very slim, right? So that was awesome. And needless to say, my husband and I went to conference, and he had his arms crossed and was like, very skeptical. And I brought home a new team member. He actually joined our team, which is pretty stinking incredible. So thank you. The conference was amazing. So thank you so much for sharing your story, Julia. And just last, to kind of round this out, I know, Janet, you have had a shred experience and have gone with the GRACE principle also with the shred. So can you tell us just your family awareness and how it's different after a shred?
Sure. I have participated in the shred, 3 or 4 times, but I've never been 100% in. It's just hard with a family. And it's totally possible. It is. It's just, for me, that's just kind of how it has worked out. But what I really appreciate about the 10-day shred is that it just kind of gives me a reset. It's like hitting the reset button for my family. And it's made us more aware of the foods that we're putting in our body. And it makes me think twice about buying sugary snacks or snacks that are full of preservatives. It's just really great about getting us back on track again. Like for the holidays, for example, we kind of let things slide. And by jumping on a 10-day shred, it just got us back in the right direction again. And so the 10-day shred kind of carries us through the rest of the month. And we just have incorporated eating healthy as much as possible, well beyond the 10 days.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so Christina, you are a physical therapist, and you have gone whole hog on a shred 10. So will you tell us your experience with that? Because I'm kind of in the middle of diving in, not cheating at all, and giving a lot of grace. I'm somewhere in the middle there. So tell us how it is to just go all in.
Okay, cool. I would say I've done a lot of shreds, and so it's definitely been a progression. So starting anybody off, I don't actually recommend that because it can cause a lot of issues and just some detox and things like that. But we are, as a company, all about one simple change. So when you incorporate the shred, you can increase that to maybe 1 or 2 and really stick to it for 10 days. So that's what I would recommend at the beginning. So you guys are totally in that transition, but I have done a full-on shred. And what I notice is just mental clarity, incredible sleep. And I think that contributes to the mental clarity. So having some mental clarity, making wise decisions about the food that you're eating and putting into your body, and then really incorporating the water has always been my biggest struggle. So I do know that if I can actually get on the water situation, I'm going to be even like more energetic and my body's going to recover a lot faster. But I'm an avid athlete. I love working out for Spartan. We train for Spartan races. And so the intensity of our workouts is pretty high. And what I notice when I'm very diligent on the shred is that I can push myself a lot harder. I recover faster. My body isn't sore. And I'd never experienced that. And as I'm aging, I feel like I'm getting more athletic, if that's even possible. But, like it is so incredible to have that. And then this is just like an intellectual piece of it, just knowing that I have this framework, this really good framework to base all my decisions on, so that when I'm shredding, I know that I'm putting the best fuel in my body. When I'm not shredding, I know that I can relax a little bit, and it's a cycle that we're doing on a regular basis. So I can relax a little bit, but I've established my body and my habits, and I'll relax and then get back right back to it. And then you just start to kind of cycle through your body, such a good filter when it's given the right fuel. And so it continues to detox. So when you have that extra grace, or you're like a 60-40 person moving towards 80-20, 80 being good, that you're going to get there, and your body knows what to do when that happens.
Yeah. So that just means 80% of the time you eat clean, 20% of the time you splurge a little, right?
Yes, not the other way around, Right.
I just had to clarify that. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing your stories. And if you guys heard anything that convicted you tonight, we absolutely cannot wait to partner with you to take Healthy back. And we get on this call every Monday night at 7 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Central. So invite your friends, everyone deserves to have this information. So thanks so much for joining us, guys.